Terry said yesterday that if you don't beat her, it could be the end of your career. What do you make of those comments?
Doesn't, like what Terry says doesn't bother me, to be honest. So yeah, it doesn't. The pressure's not on me, and I think she's saying the pressure is, but to try and play down the actual pressure that she's under. You know, she's the one making all these statements, saying she's going to stop me, saying she's going to retire me, saying, you know, I'm too old, and I'm a mom, I'm not focused, I've had my time, and she's got to go out and prove that. She's the world champion. She's got to, you know, she's got to turn up and do to me what she's been saying she's going to do. And there's no pressure on me.
And just seeing sort of how Terry sort of progressed, what have you made of sort of her rise, and what do you need to do without giving away the game plan specifically to beat her?
Listen, I respect everything that she's done. She's turned up when she needed to. She's won when she needed to. So, you know, I can only respect that. But when we've broke it, when I personally break it down into what she does and what I do, I've said it a million times, there's nothing that she does that's better than me. And I honestly believe that. She's shown that she can go 10 rounds twice. So I had to make sure, the only thing I had to do was make sure I was fit enough to be able to do that. And I've done that and more in training. I know 100% my fitness is with me. So whatever she brings to the table, I have prepared for. We've had sparring partners, Louise Orton, Kirsty Babington, Sarah Dunn, and mainly Chantelle Cameron, who's a world champion in her own right, and a world champion challenger. And every base in them spars have been covered, so she can do what she wants.
And finally, from me, what would it mean to you to be crowned WBC super featherweight champion?
I think the reason what kept me coming back to the sport was unfinished business. I always talk about this unfinished business because there was things in amateur that I wanted to achieve that I didn't feel that I did. And I think this will draw the line in the sand with me, like personally, to be like, right, I'm satisfied with what I've done now.
And is your daughter at home, right, willing you on Friday night?
Yeah, she sent me. She put a little part like craft thing in my bag, with a little name on it. So that was nice. But yeah, she knows what to do. She doesn't really understand it, and she's probably more interested about what Nikita's doing, and like when we're going to watch her next year. She loves going the match and being able to make as much noise as she wants and kick up a fuss. But she has enjoyed being a part of this training camp, and, you know, giving me the waters in between rounds. And she says, "Joe, who's the boss?" And he says, "Me and you." And she loves it. She loves to think that she's the boss of me, even if it is for 2 hours in the gym.
Brilliant. Well, Tasha, I wish you all the very best of luck on Friday.
Got Danny Flexen for Seconds Out. Do you want to jump in, mate?
Hi, Tasha.
You all right?
Yeah, apologies for my lateness and for looking even more dishevelled than usual. I got the call while I was out on a run and quickly came back. Well, quickly for me, not for you. You said you didn't care much about what Terry had said. Obviously, I've missed the earlier question, so you might have already been asked this. But she said yesterday that she thinks you always start fast and then you become a bit plodding in the second half of fights. A, is that something you've perceived as a weakness of yours in the past? And B, what do you make of her saying that?
I don't know. I would have thought personally it would have been the other way around, to start really slow and get better. That's just me personally. But like I said, I'm not really interested what she says, if I'm honest. It just, yeah, it is what it is. I'm just making sure I'm the best athlete. I know I've prepared for 10 rounds. So whether I finish it on 1 or whether we go to points on 10, I will be the fittest that I've ever been in that fight.
We know you've been doing plenty of sparring with Chantelle Cameron, among others. Can you tell us a little bit about that sparring, what you got from it, and also having sparred her mixed with Katie Taylor in the amateur days, who would you pick out of those guys if they eventually fight?
It's a tough one to pick because Chantelle's engine is so good. And I think if anything, what Pursuit showed was that if you can match her and a little bit more, that could be a chink in her armour. I think, if I'm honest, I think Katie puts it right and puts it to bed in this fight camp. But if there was a weakness in her armour, I think that is Chantelle's strength. And for that reason, that was one of the reasons we decided to make her one of our main sparring partners, to make sure that she pushed me in every round, and that, you know, she's like you say, a world title challenger in her own right. So yeah, we knew the quality that she brings, we knew the strengths that she brings, and the other sparring partners as well. We brought them on board for each one of their strengths, and that just made every base covered. So like I said before, that obviously you might not have heard, but whatever she brings, I'm ready for.
Do you feel that Chantelle is superior to Terri Harper? Because a lot of boxers say they spar better people than they're going to fight. So then when they get in the ring, they know they've got nothing really to worry about.
Superior is a bit of a strong word. But do I think that Chantelle beats Terri Harper if they ever fought? Yeah, I do.
I'd say that's superior.
But you know, superior is a strong word, but I think that Chantelle wins, yeah.
And just last of all, how much are you thinking about the historical aspect of this fight as opposed to just getting in there, implementing a game plan and getting the job done? It's hugely important for women's boxing as a whole. Does that come into your mind, or do you stop yourself thinking about that until after the job's done?
No, yeah, I mentioned it earlier. Like, it's all about the fight. It's not about the moment at this time. For me, it's a great occasion to be a part of. You know, you're the second week back after a brilliant first week. Everyone will be tuning in. I get that. I understand that. That's not what is important to me. Important to me is turning up and performing, and only after that performance will I look back and think, you know, that was a box experience. It was great to be a part of, and you know, now I'm a double world champion.
Thanks, Tasha. Appreciate it. And good luck, obviously, on Friday.
Thank you.
Mark, do you want to jump in next, mate?
Yeah. Hi, Tasha. Thanks for giving us a bit of time. Yeah, similarly to Danny, I apologise if I asked a question that's already been covered, as I joined late to the call as well. Terri touched on this week about her aspirations to crack America. Do you see this as a little bit of complacency when she's obviously got the task of facing you on Saturday night?
No, I just think, you know, what Terri does is what Terri does. It's got nothing to do with me. I don't you know, I don't engage in anything. I've got nothing bad to say about her. I'm not that way inclined. But if she's looking past me, it will be a big mistake.
Absolutely. And bringing the conversation back to you, what does a win over Terri do for your career? Where does it propel you? What's going to be your aspiration should you come through?
It's like I say, it's a big opportunity. She didn't have to take the fight, so you know, I'm grateful for that opportunity. But I know what it brings. I know the doors it opens. I know what could be in the pipeline. I get all that, but it's about, I've got to do that first. So I'm more focused about this fight, and I'm not looking ahead towards what could. I've done that before and it didn't work out well. So I'm just focused on what I need to do right now.
So I don't know if you could touch on this a little bit more about what lessons you've learned then in terms of maybe not looking past on Saturday night, and how that's actually sort of impacted your preparations maybe mentally.
Yeah, mentally, I think I'm in a great place. I've been speaking with sports psychologists. I've done a lot of self-work with myself, you know, reading books and, you know, watching listening to podcasts, watching YouTubes, and I've done a lot of me work in this time that we had with lockdown, and I think I've come out the other side, and lockdown's been perfect for me. I didn't punch for the whole time we was in it, and I had itchy knuckles, and when I got back, I had this like burning hunger that I was, you know, I was so happy to be here. I appreciated boxing again, and yeah, I think I'm mentally and physically in a really good place.
Yeah, you're right. We've all had this extra time for sort of self-reflection and self-improvement, I guess. Is there any particular podcast or particular things you've been doing to get to the point where you're obviously describing this burning passion to get back in the ring?
There's you put me on the spot and I can't think of his name now. Eric Thomas. He's a good motivational speaker. There's the Relentless book. There's the Relentless, the One Last Dance, Michael Jordan. And yeah, just all them type of things. They're things from people who I looked up to, and I can relate to part of their story. And reading the book, there was things I thought, right, I don't do that, but I want to do that now, you know. So I was working on myself to improve myself.
That's great to hear. And just finally, I'd just like to see if you could give us a little insight into what it's like to be in the bubble. I've heard you have to book spots in the gym. There's a matchroom menu. What other challenges are you facing? What other sort of unusual things are you having to endure, well, not endure, but going through during the bubble?
Well, I've been quite lucky in the sense of I prepared my meals before I came. So I don't have to cook anything. I don't have to. The only thing I had cooked eggs this morning from the restaurant or the canteen, whichever you want to call it. And that's about as much interaction as I've had with it, to be honest. Yeah, it's not. It's different because of the situation and the you know, the times that we're in. But I was saying earlier that, like, if you go away with GB on a training camp or a tournament, you're normally in a hotel in the middle of nowhere. So there isn't much to do apart from, you know, train, box, compete, come back to your room, watch a film, wind down, make weight, and do it again. So it's nothing that I'm not used to. You know, I've lived in Sheffield and out of hotels for 2 years, being on part of GB. So it's nothing that I'm not used to.
Absolutely. Best of luck Saturday, Tash.
Cheers, thank you.
Foz, do you want to jump in, mate?
Oh, I'm muted.
There you go, mate. Yeah,
There you go. All right, Tash.
Foz.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, you got it. Yeah.
Yes, Foz. How are you doing, son?
How are we?
More silverware coming back to Liverpool, lad.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Training going well?
Training company, yeah.
Good. Good. Are you missing ketchup, gravy, and curry?
Oh God, yeah, that'll be one of my meals when I go back, I tell you.
Bet you it will. Fish chicken
Not all
curry.
together for all people who think I'm weird. Not all
Well,
together.
I think you revealed all, didn't you?
Oh, aye. You grassing me up.
Hey, you were the one that revealed I didn't like curry or gravy or ketchup. But onto more pressing matters. You mentioned it. You mentioned earlier on that that you were chatting about how how sparring had gone in the build up to this, and how you felt that Chantelle could have the beating of Terri if they were to meet. What styles have you met with Chantelle that you don't feel Terri will be able to trouble you with?
I just think it's the relentlessness of Chantelle. You know, she starts round 1. She starts round 10 the same way she starts round 1. She just doesn't get tired. She's just constant. Her work rate's high. I think Joe mentioned in an interview earlier, in the whole fight with Eva Wallström, when we broke it down, Terri was only throwing, I don't think she threw more than 25 shots per round. And that's not even the ones landed, that's just shots. So, you know, when you're sparring with Chantelle's throwing, you've got to, if you're trying to match her, you're throwing 40, 50 shots a round. So, yeah, I don't think Terri competes with that.
What obviously we spoke just before lockdown, or just as we got into lockdown, and you said that you were going to face a few struggles, be it moving from mum to teacher. Are you glad to be back in the gym again?
Oh yeah, the teacher time was like probably one of the worst times ever. I just haven't got the patience to be teaching numbers and letters. Obviously I did, but it was hard work. It was a tough, challenging time, a different challenge. But she's been coming to the gym with me during this camp. She's been giving me my water. She's been, you know, having banter with Joe and saying that she's the boss, and she has been a part of this camp more than she normally would.
Do you feel like that sort of inclusion will continue going forward?
Well, obviously, once lockdown's over and she's back in school, she has to go to school. She'll feel it. But no, you know, it's been nice to see her there. It's been nice to have her there. But you know, when I'm in the gym, it's work time, and that's.
Is that the sort of mindset that you're in now, that it's time to go back to work and focus on what you could have had prior to lockdown?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, you know, all the hard work is done now. It's the switch off time, it's the make weight time, it's the, you know, have a little chill time, and then Friday is going to be you're back to work, you're back to switching on, you're back to getting the job done.
And a win on Friday, I know you said you don't want to look too far past it, but a win on Friday, where does it take you?
Just opens up a lot of doors, whether you want to get more belts, whether you want to fight for, you know, on top rank shows with Michaela Meyer, whether you know, it just opens a lot more door. You're the champion, you've got the most prestigious belt, arguably, in boxing, so people are then going to be chasing you, not you chasing them.
Brilliant. Thanks, Tash. Best of luck on Friday.
Nice one. Thank you.
Tasha, I just had one more just quickly. You mentioned sort of outside preparation, podcasts, TV shows. Have you been given any advice, possibly from your stablemates, the likes of Callum, who's sort of been there, done that, had his world title fights? Has he given you any advice heading into this one?
You like, the lads are really good in talking you through things anyway, and anything that they think I need to hear, or anything that the, you know, Beefy sits there and watches the spar, and then will come after. Ophie the same, and they'll give you what they thought, how you can improve, what went well. So, you know, and even the handling of pressure and nerves and stuff, they'll always, if I don't have an issue, I'm not scared to ask, they're not scared to say. So it is good to have that, and them to be, they've been through that situation, that they've got that experience, because not everybody in the gym has that experience to be able to, like, the depth of knowledge to be able to tap into.
Cheers. Thank you.
No problem.